What's good with y'all? You know what it is. It's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son, coming back with another one. Now, in my last video I just did, man, I just talked about, one of my failures, one of my falling from graces. And I kind of wanted to make a follow-up video, bruh. And just for the people, because I've been talking and interacting with a lot of people recently who, they just, I guess it's just people, gravitating to my circumference and whatnot, or God just putting me in these people paths. And just seeing, I just been seeing a lot. Through my whole life, I've been an observer, and I just seen a lot. And it's a lot of people that got questions. It's a lot of people now. We going through a second awakening, people trying to find the truth. I've been in this biblical truth for 6 years now. I've been avidly studying and whatnot. Both the Old New Testament, the Ethiopian books is what I'm currently into right now. And I just want to take it back to ground zero and let it be known we all humans, bro. We all humans at the end of the day. We all have our faults, our shortcomings. We all are sinners, right? I want to just point out, if you new to the faith, if you watching this and you new to the faith, information is key, right? Information is key, and understanding the fruit of the Spirit really is important. So in this video, I'm gonna break down some aspects of the fruit of the Spirit, because a lot of people, they just ask me this question. They be like, well, how do you know who I see this person, this pastor doing this, and then they go live like this. I see this person doing this, and they live like this. I want everybody to know nobody has it all figured out. Not even me. Right? So you follow me and you watch my content, cool. I'm just giving the understanding God gave me. Now, for me personally, right, I fell the other day, righteous fall several times, we get back up. We got to be willing to stand back up and fight for the Lord in order to fulfill his will and his purpose, right? We can't stay stuck muddying the waters and feeling bad for ourselves and all of this type of stuff. Get right back up and do what you got to do for the Lord, right? Now, I just cannot do wrong and do evil and not tell people what I do no more. At least have some brethren or come on here in a public space and be like, yeah, I effed up, right? Because I understand when the scriptures say that to confess your sins, the burden is you're not really burdened by it. That's the truth. Now, I'm a human being, bruh, and I do come on here and I make a lot of videos about, living up right. That's what we should strive for, right? To be more Christ-like. But I want to let people know the journey is not always easy. I'm not one of these people on social media who gonna come and I'ma always just post scriptures and I'ma just make it seem like my life is perfect, right? That's what people on Instagram do. That's what people on Facebook do. They take the highlights of their life and make it seem like their lives is so phenomenal. They use that against people to make them envious and whatnot. No, I struggle. To this day, I struggle. I'm grieved at things. I done lost people. I done seen people come and go in my life that wasn't worthy and had to deal with the brunt of things, right? I done been put through trials and tribulations. Even in my music, a lot of my music, I talk about the things I went through. I done had inferiority complexes. I done sat up here and I done been unconfident, right? I done conformed for the clout to say, right? I done did all of these things. I done been grieved and cared about people who didn't care about me and got hurt for that, right? It's not easy. This walk, it's a narrow path. It's a narrow path, but it's important at the end of the day. Whatever biblical teacher you follow, whatever principles, you subscribe to, what's important to be known is to keep marching on for the kingdom, regardless of how hard things look, regardless of how you personally feel, regardless of how doubtful you are of yourself. Think about how many prophets in the Bible doubted themselves. Moses doubted himself, and he was given the law. God root for the underdog, bro. And we all know people in our lives who claim that they're not perfect, but they never talk about what they do wrong. They never talk about their humanity. They never speak on what they're going through or show any humility. This is how you find people with the fruits of the Spirit. People that's meek. People that's gonna let it be known, I'm just a man. I'm just a woman. Doing the best that I can for Yah. And that's it. And it's no subterfuge and confusion and manipulation up under it. It's just simply somebody genuinely trying their best to live for the Father. Right? We in this time frame, Babylon is falling. And my last couple of videos I have been talking about us taking heed. I also talked about getting us physically getting into shape and all this type of stuff. I think that's a part of preparing. I meant to say that in the last video. I think that's a part of preparing. I believe we need to be physically prepared. You need to start walking, getting your steps in. I've been walking 45 miles a week. And over a span of 3 days, 15 miles a day with this new job that I'm working. And I be looking at things like that, like, what's the relevance in this? Because I find its significance in every part of our lives, whether we want to believe it or not. I'm like, what's the relevance in this? Then I think about it, I'm like, dang, what if it's ever a time where I have to walk for a long period of time and I cannot, rest? Or it's like we get to a point where cars is not a thing anymore. And so we got to walk all wherever we go. We was talking about the second Exodus and being in the wilderness. Might sound like a lot of walking to me. So I'm like, that's interesting. That would be an interesting way to prepare. Get your steps in, man. Hit them weights, hit the gym, because we living in uncertain times now, right? And I know this video is kind of all over the place. It just pivoted crazy, but I'm just coming off the spirit, man, what I'm feeling like saying. But yeah, we live in uncertain times, so in every way we need to be preparing, getting supplies. And this is why it's important to keep getting back up even when you fall in this time, because you don't want to. I noticed, man, when I had failed, bro, the other day, bro, like I'm not wanting to answer people calls. I'm not wanting to, speak life no more. And I could kind of feel it say you can only serve one or two masters. And I'm kind of feeling the tug of not wanting to do what God is calling me to do. And I'm like, hell no. So I had to get it together, man. And we just got to get back up and get it together, because it's for you out there watching, somebody depends on you. When you choose God, somebody is dependent on you, whether you know him now or not, or you're going to cross paths with him later. Somebody is dependent on you to be that person, that beacon, and sit up there and open their mind up to the possibilities of the Lord. They start them on their journey or whatever. Somebody is dependent on me. Somebody dependent on us. So we gotta be as A1 as we can get. And the more you start to realize your flaws, reflect. These are fruits of the Spirit. Reflection, self-reflection, and realizing your flaws that come with humility and meekness and temperance, right? The more you start realizing this stuff, the stronger you gonna get. The more you're gonna be able to resist that urge. The more understanding God will give you on how to fight, how to endure. It's a spiritual war. The weapons of our warfare aren't carnal. So what are they? They spiritual. Put on that armor of the Most High, tee up, and understand, give yourself some grace as well. You're a human being. Don't take advantage of it, but get back up if you fall. And yeah, that's all I got. With that being said, it's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son. I'm signing out.